Sean, wonderful to wonderful to connect with you, and thanks for your time. I know you're getting ready for a big swim. What is it? Which which swim are you getting ready for?
So I am flying out to New Zealand to hopefully swim the Cook Strait if all the logistics and everything go to plan, as ever with open water swimming.
When are you flying, and what are your swim dates?
So I leave home tomorrow actually. So
Okay.
but I fly out of London on Tuesday
Mhm.
and don't land in Auckland until Thursday morning.
Which
So
is
that
okay.
will be a fun one. And my official swim window is the 10th to the 17th of November, but obviously
Mhm.
you got to wait for the weather, and if the weather's good before, maybe I'll be called beforehand. Who knows?
Awesome. This is like early spring in New Zealand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going right at the start of their window, their season.
Okay.
And the thought process behind that was because I would have more chance to swim here in
Okay.
open water, whereas if I chose a sort of, I think the other options were sort of April, and that would be us just coming out of the winter, and I wouldn't be
Okay.
able to do so much here.
Just curious. I know you've done a lot of research, and I haven't checked the Cook Straits stats. Like this should be one of the earliest swims in the Cook Strait history, is what I'm thinking in the season.
I don't know, is the honest answer. I know that there is a
Okay.
window before mine of the 2nd to the 6th.
Okay.
So I'm guessing.
Okay. Possible. Very good. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
before.
gonna I'm gonna look. I mean, after this call, I'm gonna go check. Okay, like that's awesome. Yeah. So, Sean, here is another. Like, I mean, I the first time we ever met each other was in Cancun,
Yep.
and it was a wonderful conversation. But it was the last day of the event. Yeah, and you were flying, I think, in the next hour or so. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. We didn't connect with much time to actually
right,
chat
right,
to
right.
it.
That's awesome. And also another cool thing is you have a fantastic resume. You're a doctor, uh, and you do these swims, and you're all over the world, and you have a fantastic network of people who support you. Can you tell me about like, okay, hey, how do you manage like a demanding uh, professional career and then these adventures? Like, and also give me some information about your swimming background as a child. Like, yeah, anything that you want to share? Yeah.
Okay. I guess start when I was a child.
Okay.
I loved the water. According to my
Mhm.
parents, obviously I don't remember, but from when I was born, as soon as they put me in a bath, I thought it was the best thing ever. Um, so I there was a swimming pool within walking distance of where I lived
Mhm.
from when I was about 4 till 8. So I went to swimming lessons there and joined the swimming club and
Mhm.
went off to galas on the coach with the club and enjoyed swimming. Wasn't very
Mhm.
good at going forwards. I was definitely a backstroker. Uh,
Mhm.
and was a definite sprinter. Got very upset if the coach, even as a sort of teenager, got very upset if the coach gave sets that included 200s or above. Um, so I was a 50 and 100 backstroker.
Okay.
And I did then do some life saving, some competitive life saving. So I
Okay.
have to do some front crawl and up to maybe 800 meters for that.
Okay. Mhm.
And then I switched to marathon swimming because, to be quite honest, I was a junior doctor
Mhm.
in I won't name the department, but in a unsupportive department, shall we say. I was working and honestly hating it, and sleeping and not much else. And I considered leaving medicine completely, and thought I need to do something for me. So obviously,
Way to go.
decided to sign up to swim the English Channel.
You chose pain to do something for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting at the breakfast table when I must have been about, do you know, I don't know how old I was, but I think it was when the 14-year-old, I think it was 14-year-old, had just swum the English Channel. And my dad turned around to me and said, "You could do that, Sean." And I hadn't thought about it. But then when I decided I needed to do something for myself, I thought, oh, let's do that.
So, like, here's something that I just, because you said you had a difficult time at work. So pain can actually, you used pain to remove the pain from other part of your life.
Yeah, I guess it gave me something else to focus on. And I had to, obviously you have to train. So I had to build in going and doing training into the day. Whereas I think before I had been going to work feeling utterly emotionally exhausted from work, that I was just sleeping. And so that's not a very good place to be.
Yeah.
You have to do some exercise. You have to do something that you enjoy. And so I suppose it gave me something else to focus on. I stopped just having work to think about.
Awesome. Beautiful. Another cool thing is I believe you're one of the first persons to have completed the original Triple Crown, or tell me about it. Yeah, I know there's a Guinness record component to it as well, but let's talk about the original Triple Crown and how did you get there? Like, what was the thought process? And
So I think it was the same week that I swam the English Channel.
When was this?
That was in 2009.
Okay.
So quite a long time ago, and it took me a long time before I did another one. I had a big gap of 7 years, but I think it was the same week that I swam the English Channel, the first person to swim from Ilfracombe to Swansea across the Bristol Channel. So it's the widest bit of the Bristol Channel that's ever been swum, because it's an estuary. He'd swum, so, and he lives fairly local to me, so people kept saying, "Oh, you should trying to get us in contact." And we did finally catch up on the 31st of December of that year, actually. And Gethin always said, "Oh, you should do it." And I thought, swimming, training for the English Channel and working took quite a lot out of me. It's at the back of my mind, but I think I'll do it. And then I started thinking more seriously about it, and he encouraged me a lot. And so I decided to do it in 2016.
Okay.
It was more difficult because, well, it's longer. It's still the longest swim I've done, but there's now companies that take swimmers across, but in 2016 there wasn't. So I had to plot my course and find people to take me across. So I spent a lot of time staring at charts of the Bristol Channel and doing maths. But so I finished that, and Gethin kept saying I should swim the North Channel and become the first person to swim the original Triple Crown. And nobody had done it for quite a long time, and it was only men who'd done it.
Okay. The first woman to,
first female, not first person. I do apologise. First person in a while. Because it was, I think 3 men did it in the 70s, and then nobody had done it since. Camille did it maybe the year before I did. I can't quite remember the exact.
That's okay. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I would like to have done
Okay.
Channel, but I don't really fancy the training for it or actually doing it, mainly because of the cold and the lines named jellyfish. Unfortunately, in September 2021, Gethin passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unexpectedly. And so the next time I went swimming, I was in the sea, I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to swim the North Channel now. So he didn't really give me a choice. I had to do it in his memory. So that day I contacted, he'd sent me Jacqueline's number from Infinity like the year before. And so that day I contacted her and said, I'm going to have to swim this for Gethin. And she came back with a window, and then I went for it.
Awesome. So first female to have swum across the 3 bodies of water.
Yes.
Which is the original Triple Crown.
Yes, that's
correct. Awesome. So that was in 2016 or 2017?
Oh no, that was in 2022.
Oh, 2022. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. Way to go. Yeah. And tell me about, okay, I know, I think your application has Guinness Records acknowledged and approved your application, or what's happening there? Yeah.
So, yeah, I was awarded 2 Guinness World Records.
Okay.
One for the fastest female to complete the so aggregate time to complete the original Triple Crown. That no longer stands, but that's not surprising. I'm not the fastest open water swimmer. I just don't put as much effort in as maybe I should. But I'm, there's lots of other amazing swimmers who are faster than me, and they have now swum faster times. I did also do a longer route across the Bristol Channel, but even without that, they would have smashed my time. But I still hold the record for the fastest female swimmer from Ilfracombe to Swansea. I'm actually the fastest overall, but Guinness World Records wouldn't give me the fastest overall. They'd only give me the fastest female.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you're one of the amazing swimmers on this planet. Yeah, you do so many amazing swims. I think you're on the path to clear the Ocean's 7 swim.
I don't know. Will I do that? I might do it.
Okay.
At the moment, I am just picking swims that I think will be good or a fun adventure. And maybe I will do all 7. Who knows?
How do you pick your swims? Like, I know you have a busy job. Being a doctor is not easy. Like, okay, hey, this is what I want to do now. Like, this is my next. How do you pick your swims?
So usually by speaking to other people. So if I speak to someone who's incredibly enthusiastic about a swim, then that's there, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to do that one. So it's usually that. Okay. This year I've done a few more swims than usual. I'm having a 3/5 life crisis because I'm too old for a midlife one. So. which for me has turned into booking lots of different swimming things. So it's I'm not very good at planning in advance. So I struggle to book the really good, like the swims that have got long waiting lists. I'm glad I did the English Channel when I did it, because I don't think I'd be organised enough to plan far enough in advance to do it now. But several people had told me about around Manhattan, and I thought that sounded very cool. It's completely different to the other swims that I've done. You can actually see things as opposed to just, oh, there's some more water. Oh, there might be a boat.
Okay.
So I did that at the end of June. I started ice swimming as well a year ago, just a year and a half ago. So I've been doing that too. And I met Sal the same trip as I met you.
Okay.
And she just said, when are you swimming around Jersey? So I did contact her after I was back and say, what about next year?
Okay.
So it was great. I went to swim around Jersey with Sal and stayed with her, which was wonderful.
Awesome.
And yeah. And then when I came home from that, a friend of mine is one of the people who now has a company taking swimmers across the Bristol Channel.
Okay.
And on a Tuesday evening, he sent me a message saying, have you recovered from Jersey yet? And I said, well, I climbed a mountain this morning and it hurt, so probably not. And he responded with, I've just lost my swimmer for Thursday. Do you want to do a different route across the Bristol Channel?
Okay.
Which I answered with a definite no.
Okay.
And then 36 hours later, I was on the boat going to the start. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's people talk me into things. People tell me about swims, and I think, oh, that sounds brilliant. But it's not oh, well, I'll do the Ocean Sevens, therefore I'll just do the 7 in a row, or yeah.
So what does these swims mean to you? Like, what do you get out of these swims? Like, when you're done with a swim, like, okay, you said, okay, I'm not swimming on Thursday, but you went ahead with it. Like, what does it mean? Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, when you're done with the swim, okay, hey, yeah, like, what's the life lesson that you at least extract from these adventures?
Oh, I think you learn something different in every swim. I think, yeah, I mean, when I swam the English Channel, my life lesson was how dangerous false hope can be. And actually, I translated that into being a doctor as well. You know, somebody saying effectively, it's not that much further when you are swimming against the current, and it might not be that much further, but you're not making any headway and you've got several hours left. Initially, obviously, the elation of, oh, yay, I'm nearly there. And then the realization of, no, I'm not. I've still got a lot of swimming left. And you end up in a far worse place mentally than you would have been, than you were when you were just swimming before they said anything to make you change your thinking. So I guess that was my life lesson from my first swim. It reminds me, I guess, how much I can do and how far I can travel on my own. I've done an Ironman as well, and it taught me the same, but on land, that actually, you know, we're so used to getting in a vehicle, or, you know, be it on land or in the sea, that we think that we can't travel that far on our own, but actually we can. We are far more capable than we think we are. I have different periods when I swim of feeling gratitude for just being able to experience that, and, you know, having the ability to do it both, you know, sort of physically, mentally, having the support of people to do it, and just being lucky to be able to do it financially as well. I always feel very grateful for those things. You always have dark periods where you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't want to be here. But it also teaches you that you can get through those, and you can use not tricks, strategies to help change your mindset. And I think that as well is something that is not only useful in the sea when you're swimming for 10 hours. It's also something that you can take into the rest of your life when
Right.
things aren't going as you want them to.
So has these adventures made you a better doctor?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, because it's the mental struggles that you have,
Mm-hmm.
both when you are training and you are just thinking, oh, I'm just tired and I want to get off this treadmill now for a while,
Mm-hmm.
at the mental struggles when you are in there. And I mean, we all know things go wrong with, it's not easy to plan a sea swim, and just how something simple going wrong can sometimes feel completely devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And that simple thing is different for everybody. So, if a patient comes in and has found something out, or something has gone wrong in their life that you think, gosh, that's a really small thing, it allows you to go, well, actually, in the context that they are, where they are just about coping, just about keeping their head above the water with everything else that they've got to do, actually that's exactly the same as when, I lost my pilot 48 hours before I was meant to start my cross, Bristol Channel swim.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, that is not a big problem. It's definitely a first world problem. I still had my health, I still had everything else, but it completely floored me, and it just sent me to bed. I just couldn't function.
Way to go. So
Taught me a lot.
does your patients know that you are the school adventurer?
Most of my patients don't. I think when I was partner in a practice before, some of them did. Some of them had looked me up.
Mm-hmm.
I now actually work mainly clinically anyway as an out of hours GP up in Orkney, which is an island. Well, it's an archipelago of islands off the north coast of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm the out of hours GP, my name isn't really anywhere until after I've contacted them and spoken to them. I also appraise GPs as well. So in the UK, every doctor has to have an appraisal every year.
Mm-hmm.
And quite a lot of them come to the appraisal saying, I've looked you up.
Awesome. Yeah. So we were talking about, like issues that regular people have and then swimmers have. Like, how do you deal with this? Like when there's you planned everything, when something goes wrong, both at work or your adventures, like how do you deal with it? Do you take a step back, or what do you do? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So probably I'm not very good myself at taking a step back initially.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, and get very stressed about it. I find it very helpful to speak to a friend and just say, actually, I'm quite good at phoning someone saying, can I just rant at you for 10 minutes just to get it off my chest, and then I can talk it through and go, okay, it's not as bad as I think.
I think that's very important. Yeah, to reach out to somebody. Yeah. As somebody mentioned this one, at times you need courage to ask for help. Right? Yeah.
Yes, you do. And I am sometimes scared to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people that, and my mum included, my poor mum gets ranted at quite a lot. But yeah, I always worry that you think, well, my friends are busy, everyone else has got their own problems, I don't want to sort of burden them. But then I also think the opposite. But if they're struggling, then I'd want them to phone me and say, Sian, can I have a chat? Can we catch up?
Building that trust relationship, right? Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah. What's the most difficult thing that you've done? I know you've studied for medicine, you become a doctor, you swim across bodies of water. and you've done other things in life. What's the most difficult thing that you've done in your life?
Ooh, that's tough. It's probably actually my first year of studying medicine, because I'm definitely what somebody would call a confidence player. If I was in a, if I was playing rugby or something like that, I'm better if I feel confident. And I did a maths degree first.
Okay.
Now, you can either do maths. Generally, you are either good at maths or you're not so good at maths. And I'm good at maths. And I suddenly went from, in maths, you understand how to do the problem, but you don't have to remember much. And I went from that to suddenly having to remember a huge amount and write essays. And I was not confident that I had the ability to do that, because I'd never tested myself in those arenas before, really. So I found that very difficult. And I actually remember studying for an exam and sitting in the library just going, none of this is going in. And I had my swimming club was training that evening, and I just thought, I can't go. I've got to remember this. I've got to remember this. And I just thought, you know what? It's not going in. I'm going to go. And I went, spoke to my coach, said, I'm just going to do half the session. I don't have time to do the full thing. Swam, came back, opened my books in the library, and it just went in.
Wow.
And it just goes to show that actually, if you're struggling with something, if you switch and do something like sport, if you're struggling with something mentally, if you switch and do something sporty and take your mind off it, then actually you're far more receptive when you come back.
Wow, beautiful. You swam through your way to become a doctor.
Yeah, so not in the sea, unfortunately, because my university
Doesn't matter.
It wasn't near the sea. So I joined the local master's swimming club. So I didn't swim for my uni, because actually their training sessions were often during the day. So if you were doing other subjects, you could go and train. But if you were doing medicine, it was very difficult to get to their training sessions. So I swam with the local masters team, which was great. Awesome.
Yeah. 2 more questions.
Okay.
What does failure mean to you?
Ooh. I'm actually not that self-confident. So if I fail at something, I'm quite hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself to start with, and I probably go to ground, and it takes me a little while to go, okay, well, why did you fail? And once I've got over that terrible lull of I feel awful about myself, I can then sort of analyze it and think, okay, well, what did I do that didn't help? What could I do differently if I'm going to try it again? What can I learn from this? And then work out how to approach it better if I'm going to do it again.
Way to go. Beautiful. What does courage mean to you, Siân?
Ooh, courage. I think courage is knowing that you're scared of something, but still putting yourself out there and going for it, whether that be, trying to do medicine where not knowing if I had the capacity of my memory, whether that is going and swimming places where there are sharks, because there's not in the UK and they do scare me. Actually, I was in the Maldives a couple of years ago, and it was only a reef shark, but actually it did it did go for me. It did headbutt me. I don't think it tried to bite me. It was so fast, though, I just felt it rather than saw it. And I did have a scratch down my leg, so possibly it tried to bite me, but I think my thighs were just too fat for its mouth.
Wonderful, yeah. So, Sean, thanks for your time. That was beautiful, and good luck in Kiwi.
Thank
And
you.
are you going with Infinity? Or are you going with Philip Rush, or who's
I'm
taking?
going with Kata Batik, which
Okay.
are the group that Infinity were working with when they were out there, but they're not there.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
that's who I'm
Have
going.
fun. And I'm
Thank
gonna. I look for it. It's also another cool thing is, I mean, you have these WhatsApp groups about your swims. I love watching them because, yeah, you have some wonderful friends who are very funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am very lucky.
Okay.
And I obviously don't see many of the messages when I'm swimming. There's not enough time for anyone to tell me, but reading through them afterwards and reading the ridiculous things that some of my friends write, it's just wonderful.
Awesome. Good luck. And so, are you coming to San Diego in 2026 for the IMSHAF conference? You should.
I would love to, but I think that it falls. So with my work up in Orkney, I have set shifts and I have a rolling rota, and I have fast forwarded to, and I am working, unfortunately.
Okay.
Up in
Awesome.
Orkney.
If,
So that's such a shame.
if anything changes, come on over.
I would love to. Let's see if I can make things change.
Awesome. Cheers. Good luck in Kiwi. Okay. Safe travels. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.